Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to the 6 News Roundup. And in this video we're going to round up all the news on Vector Glare, which is a new season of Rainbow Six Siege, and we have a release date. So the new season will be launching on June 7th. That means 2 weeks of test servers, and the test servers are starting up on the 24th of May. So that's really nice, going back to the old school shorter test server period, but always be aware there might well be some delays, but hopefully it will launch on time on June 7th. So let's get into the new content because there's a lot of it, and we'll skim through the stuff I've already made dedicated videos for on the Core Ross channel. So of course there's the brand new operator, he has a brand new gun, so nice to have that, and his gadget so far seems pretty crazy. It's like a high-tech smoke grenade, and I think the potentials for strats is huge, and he gets 3 of them as well, and his main counter is Warden, who can actually see through them, and Glaz can also see through them as well. So the combos and the kind of strats we're going to see played for both sides against this guy should be very interesting. Then we've also got a brand new map specifically for the Team Deathmatch mode. So if you are into Team Deathmatch, you're going to have, I think, a much better experience on this map rather than the ones that were obviously made for the normal PvP. But I'm curious how many people will actually play it. However, I do love that they've made a dedicated actual map for that game mode. Now up next is the reputation system. This is going in the background at all times, but the first ever change that actually is player facing is coming with this season, and what it is automatic reverse friendly fire. So if you are up in the very small percent of just people who TK all the time, you will automatically have reverse friendly fire switched on right at the start of a match. And I don't know if this is going to have a huge impact. I don't know how often we'll run into these players, but it shouldn't affect obviously that many. This should be for the worst offenders, and it's nice to finally have something from the reputation system. But of course, I'm not expecting much from this, and I'm not going to give them much credit for it either, because it's nice to have it, and I'm sure a lot of work has gone into it. But, you know, year 7, you know, finally getting this, I would love to see a full reputation system, which hopefully we'll get by maybe the end of the year, but we've at least got one step closer. Now we've got the shooting range. This is freaking awesome. Now I don't know how much time people are going to spend in here doing stuff and using it, but this is awesome. Really, really freaking good. So right now there is 2 lanes in this, and they are pretty simple. One is a target which you can flip around either to be a human shaped target or an actual kind of bullseye, or you can go into the other lane and it's an actual 3D model that you can shoot at. So you can practice shooting through limbs and stuff, so you can see how much damage you cause with which weapons and which range and things like that. It's really good, and I'm very, very happy with it. This is also apparently the first iteration. They're going to add multiple more lanes as kind of the years go on. And that's kind of the thing. I expect this to probably be something that changes in yearly terms, not seasonal terms. But it's brilliant, it's a good start, and of course I do want moving targets and stuff like that to play with. I could even do with an obstacle course or things like that, but this is such a good start, and to finally have this is brilliant. Again, I'm not going to give them too much credit because we're in year 7 and we've now got the kind of the most basic of shooting ranges, but it's exceptionally good and I'm so happy to have it. Now in the same kind of vein, we have other elements that are coming in to help players. So we're going to have a actual kind of tips and guides within the operator menu. You can also do this in the actual game as well, to bring up videos to show you how things work, so that new players should be able to kind of get themselves accustomed to it very quickly. I will mention though that you can switch this off in game, and it's the bottom setting in the HUD. So if you don't want to see these videos show up in your normal gameplay, I would recommend going down to the bottom and switching it off once this season launches. We've also got a small change, but a very nice one, and it's bringing back something that was taken away previously. So when we got the Gun 6, some operators lost sidearms, which I did not like at the time. I thought, why not just have 3 options, keep the ones you already had, plus the Gun 6. Well, that's what we're getting. So operators who previously lost a secondary weapon due to being given the Gun 6 or something like that will now be getting their weapon back. Now that doesn't mean that operators like Muzzy, who lost the Super Shotty, are going to get it back, because that was a balancing change. But operators who lost their weapon due to getting something new have now got their old weapon back. It's a tiny change, but it's nice. Now let's move on to balancing, because we've got some major changes, and these 2 operators here, Glaz and Chanka, are having some major changes. So let's first of all go check out Glaz. You'll notice that he's got a new gun on his belt there. And if you go into the loadout, he of course has his sniper rifle, his pistol, his gun 6, and now his bearing 9. So that is a massive change for Glaz. But that's not the end of it, because if you go back, you'll notice his speed and health. He is now a 3-speed operator. This is a massive change for Glaz, and it's kind of crazy, I think. So we'll see how that's going to affect things. Now Chanka, he's getting a smaller change, but if we go into his loadout, you'll notice that he also has the bearing 9. Now his speed and all that hasn't changed. This is the only change that I know of for Chanka, but he is getting the bearing 9 as a secondary option. So obviously he'll have his LMG or his SMG, and then he can go with pistols or with the bearing 9. So that's a tiny little change for him compared to Glaz, but overall quite interesting changes to both Russian operators. Now another change that's coming to the game is screen shake. So in the accessibility, you're going to be able to switch screen shake from default down to a reduced version or no screen shake at all. So I imagine everyone's just going to switch off screen shake because that should actually be the most powerful option. But yeah, this is to help people who are having trouble with like motion sickness and stuff like that. So screen shake is just going to go away entirely. If you want to, it's going to be an option in the accessibility tab. We've also got a new addition to the privacy tab, and it's basically the streamer mode, but it's been expanded to the point of where everyone should be able to, well, everyone should use it basically, is my opinion, because I don't stream. I've had early access to it and I've been loving it. So this allows you to go incognito, but it does not help cheaters. Of course, on Ubisoft side, they can see the real name and all that, and people getting reported for cheating and stuff are still getting reported in their real account name. But it's not all about just changing your name. There's a whole bunch of other features in this privacy mode as well that I'll make a dedicated video on, because it definitely needs a dedicated video. And then we have a brand new pack. So this is another pack. We got the Bravo packs last season. We're now getting these new packs. And these are all about bringing back old friends who used to play Siege in the past. And if you bring them back in and you have to actually play with them, you can't just invite them and then have them play themselves. You need to play with them in a squad. But you and the friends you're referring get these packs which allow you to get operators. And there's also going to be some cosmetics in there, special 3D ones that are only in these packs that you can get if you've already got those operators that you can unlock. So it's, you know, obviously this is a way to try and bring back players who have left the game and have never come back. So we'll see if this works out. I doubt it's going to make a huge difference, but I could be wrong. And I'm certainly always surprised by how much effort everyone puts in just to get a new cosmetic item, no matter what it is. Now let's move on to Wolfguard. This was the very first teaser for this new season, and it looked like it had, out of all the teasers, probably the most work put into it, other than maybe the operator CGI reveal. So, I was kind of expecting something, big, at least a clear understanding of what the hell Wolfguard is, but we didn't really get that. So this is what we do have. Wolfguard is going to be getting shown off at the launch of the season, I think, in a cartoon. So I think the cartoon that normally launches this season is going to have Wolfguard do their thing. That's my guess still. Like I say, I still don't know exactly what the hell this actually is and if it's really going to do anything. But certainly we did get confirmation that Doc, Bandit, Castle, Clash, Frost, Malusi, Thunderbird, Lion, Monty, Nomad, the new operator, Sens, Twitch, and Ying are in this squad, and Doc, of course, is the leader of the squad. And we know that they're focusing on humanitarian stuff, and that seems to be what they are. They're healers or crowd control. But this is not going to affect gameplay in any way, although apparently they've got a new wallpaper for their phones, so they're going to have the Wolfguard logo on their phones. Now, that is kind of it. Like, the most we can hope for, I think, is maybe a mid-season event where something plays into this. But I think this is much more of the bottom end of expectations, where we're going to see a battle pass with Wolfguard. We actually see some of the cosmetics on the main menu. So I think, unfortunately, this is going to be mostly monetized rather than actually being in-game content that we can play. Like I say, I'll wait and see if there's going to be any kind of mid-season event, but I do not think we're going to see much gameplay out of this Wolfguard squad. I also really don't know how much story I'm going to be too fussed by, because if it is just a cartoon at the launch of the season, so far those previous cartoons haven't really told a concise story, so I'm not really expecting to see much out of this. So my expectations are definitely dropping significantly for this whole Wolfguard thing, but we'll get some nice cosmetics out of it, I guess. And then we have one bad bit of news, which is the next season was supposed to have a brand new map, and that was supposed to be based in Singapore, most likely the Nighthaven HQ, which is based in Singapore. That map has now been pushed back to Season 4, which means that in Season 3, we're getting a single operator, no new map, and no reworked map. So the content for Season 3 will be significantly reduced, leaving us with just a new operator, rank 2.0, and a few small things to sprinkle on top. So it'll be a rather weak season, I think. But at least the content itself is coming, just in one later season. But anyway, that is a quick roundup of all the news for Rainbow Six Siege's next season, which of course is Vector Glare. And like I say, we do have a release date. It is going to launch on June 7th. And so far, I'm super happy with it. I think this is one of the bigger content seasons we've had in a long time. And the operator is great, the shooting range is great. And this is definitely things that obviously I would have loved to have seen out before year 7. But I'm very happy to actually have it hitting and loving it right now. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.